Welcome, dingers, to the Trip 3 podcast, all wrestling. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. Oh, well.
The
But,
second.
yeah. Welcome.
Really? During the intro?
Sorry.
Welcome to the Woof Woof Woof. We're going to start calling this the Woof 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 podcast.
He did it 3 times, so it's perfectly fine. Where we talk wrestling, what's happening in the wrestling universe, except for like AEW. That's the only thing we don't cover. We are one of the hosts missing, other than the fact that we missed you that last week, Trainwreck Trey.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Much better.
What was it? Just the flu?
Almost flu, but more just like a 24-hour stomach thing that I couldn't kick.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
But, you know, it was fun.
Out 2 ways. But what did you watch? What would we'll get into the wrestling stuff to Raw and everything, what's happening in that world. But have you been keeping up with LFG?
I have. I didn't watch this last Saturday's episode, mainly because I kind of fucked up. I let my wife watch a couple episodes, and so now I've been forbidden from watching it without her. So she doesn't give a shit about Raw or SmackDown or anything else. Doesn't even know WrestleMania is next weekend. But she knows that LFG comes on, and I better not watch it without her from now on.
Well, you missed out because Dudley ripped into one of the stars.
Are you sure that wasn't the episode from the week before?
I might be wrong. I just been watching like highlights, so it could be.
Yeah, that was an episode, like that was the week before. What happened? It wasn't really. I think Bubba Ray overreacted because Bubba Ray told a girl on that kid's team that, you know, basically he said like she was nothing or something like that. And the kid spoke up and he's like, no, she's not nothing, or she's not trash or something like that. And then Bubba Ray like berated this kid. And then the kid had a good match, and Bubba Ray told him, he's like, yeah, you're a disrespectful asshole, but you had a good match, blah, blah, blah. I didn't think the kid was disrespectful at all. I just thought Bubba Ray was being a dick.
Well, we already know that he pretty much is. But no, he actually has some legitimacy. I think it's this week because it was a tag team match. And what had happened is one of the guys wasn't tagging his partner. He just went through the whole match by himself. And Bubba Ray was like, yeah, Bubba Ray was like, did you know about this?
Okay.
Like, no. Then he went like ape shit on the guy.
You know, surprisingly, LFG hasn't found its way into my algorithm.
Really? That is really strange.
I mean, like, I'm the one that watches it for the show. And watch episodes of it on my phone while I'm at work. Yeah. And it hasn't come into like TikTok, YouTube, anything.
Well, the algorithm's so weird on a lot of stuff. Like here recently, I've been getting more wrestling stuff also because I've been trying to get like highlight, like right before the show yesterday, doing all these podcasts and trying to keep up with everything. I find out new stuff just by, talking to everybody. And sometimes it overlaps into shows. It really it sucks in a way, but I want to be on all these shows, so I have to keep my end game up, and it's pushing it sometimes.
But anyway, have a pretty full plate with your shows, man.
Huh?
I said you do have a pretty full plate with all your shows.
Yeah. I love it. It keeps me busy, keeps my mind sharp. Here's the thing that's going to happen in WrestleMania 41, and I'm kind of upset of myself that I learned it. And spoiler alert, I already know what's going to happen with John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
How?
I was listening to Andrew Schultz's podcast. Triple H was on it today. And he was like, yeah, we're turning them bad and we're giving them the belt. I was like, holy shit. Spoiler alert, motherfucker.
Wait, that wasn't. Oh, dude, I wonder if Schulte's going to get in trouble for releasing that episode before he was supposed to.
I don't know. I
Because
honestly don't know.
they could have told Hunter, like, hey, this episode's going to be in the can, so you can talk about it like it's a week ahead of time.
Well, Triple H is the one that said it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Because I used to produce podcasts, and we'd have guests on, and they'd be like, hey, when's this going to air? And I'm like, dude, we got 2 episodes in the can already, so this isn't going out for 3 weeks. And they're like, okay, so my book releases, like they talked about on the show, like my book released on March 15th, yesterday, March 15th, instead of, 2 weeks from now, March 15th.
Yeah, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
No. I totally understand. Because I had Tansy on because he said his book is supposed to come out like I think it was January. His book at the time, the book was supposed to come out like in January. And I had him in October 2022. His book's coming out in August this year.
Damn.
Yeah.
Got to do a whole nother book tour.
Well, he was supposed to send me the he was supposed to email me the book. I was going to review it. And he's like, this. What happened is Nick Palmisano got with him, and they got a better publishing company.
Okay.
For him and everything, and they're working it through that way. Well, during all that, they pushed it back for like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
Wow.
So my episode is out there, and it's before it is before everything.
No, I like Tansy. I watch the videos of his kids skating and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but he had a show with Mike the Cop for a while, didn't he?
He still has it. Play Your Stop podcast.
Play Your Stop, okay.
Mike the Cop stopped doing it. He shows up like every blue moon because he has like charity group for police departments.
Yeah.
He goes out and does stuff. So it's kind of he couldn't do it anymore. It was he had too much on his plate.
Okay.
But other than that, wrestling.
Yeah, let's talk about some.
What do you think what do you think's Jey Uso's storyline? Because I'm starting to like it now.
Yeah, I'm into it now. I was pissed about it at first, but I'm into it now. I think as far as match prediction, I think that Gunther retains.
No, I don't think so.
That's my prediction. I mean, what do they do with Uso if he wins?
I don't know.
Because Gunther's already the champ. He can just take on the next challenger. Whoever's getting the next rub or push or whatever.
Yeah, but I think Uso's getting that. He's getting pushed over. I think he's going to go over the ropes. He's going to win it. And I don't know who's he going to go up next. Maybe Brock. Broman.
Roman?
Braun
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. God, man. 12 hours of work today, and this is one of my work days. So if you hear me lagging a little bit, my bad.
Dude, I think you just did a factory reset.
Sometimes I do that. My boss caught me today on that. He's like, Dave, wake up. Where? I was working too, but I had my hands on the part, and I was just staring at it. Dave, wake up. Shit. Oh, yeah. I need to wake up. But my prediction is Jey Uso gets it, and he has to go after somebody else. Right now, a lot of I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be someone in the It's either gonna be Broman, Penta. That.
Well, I think Penta wins the IC title.
Yeah, I think Penta wins the IC title too.
I think he comes out of this 4-way match. He's in the 4-way, right?
I think it's a 4-way. Let me see here.
Penta, Braun Breaker,
Penta, Finn Balor,
and the two guys from Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Finn Balor and Eddie Guerrero's kid.
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio. Eddie Guerrero's kid. But
yeah, I think Penta wins that match.
Yeah. I'm interested in the because Raw they did it. I mean, Damian Priest took a hell of a bump. I mean, even Drew McIntyre was messed up a little bit by giving him that bump.
It's been nasty the last couple of weeks on Raw. They're you could tell they're ramping up towards WrestleMania. Even the bumps even the girls are taking outside of the ring. Dude, I heard Taker talk about it, and I guess that's the best way to describe it. Is he's like, you got house show bumps or gymnasium bumps. Or he said you got gymnasium bumps. Where you're wrestling in front of 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got house show bumps. And then you got TV bumps. And then you got pay-per-view bumps. There's 4 different levels, and you could tell that they've definitely kind of ramped up in between that TV and pay-per-view bump kind of level.
Yeah, because here lately since the Rumble, we really haven't seen that much, other than Cody Rhodes doing that one bump to Kevin Owens.
Yeah, they there's been most of it's been outside the ring. Who was it? What was the match the other night? I think it was Raw last week, where the luchador hit a corkscrew. Did you see it? Where he hit that corkscrew off the top rope to the 2 guys on the outside?
I think that was yesterday because Penta did that. Because I just watched the highlight. I think that was something like that. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Penta. That was another luchador with a mask.
Phoenix.
Yeah, Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
Dude, he hit that, and then there was another move that he hit. He hit 2 spots during that match that were amazing. But I don't know why it is, dude, but I love watching luchadors more than fucking anybody else in wrestling, any other style of wrestling, any of it.
Yeah. I like it too, because it has more of a flair to it. And even though, you can tell majorly if they mess it up, because what's his name? Penta messed up his signature move on
when he fucked up that Mexican Destroyer.
Yeah.
On
but I wonder what's gonna happen with the the Rey Mysterio and El Mexicano.
El Grande Americano.
Yeah, El Grande Americano.
I think Chino's theory that it would be funny if like it comes time for the match and they found somebody that looks just like him but is not him, and they unmask some dude that's not him, that's not Chad Gable.
That would be hilarious. And it would be good because it's that old Dallas JR who shot JR.
Or if it was if El Grande Americano was obviously one of those bigger two dudes from the tag team for that night, you know, like it was obviously one of those guys.
And everything's stretchy.
Yeah.
it barely fits. Like, no, so I am El Grande Americano. There you are.
I don't know. I think they're gonna have fun with that gimmick.
It is a fun gimmick, and I'm loving it, honestly. So, I'm really loving it.
I'm not mad.
But
so, for those of us that are counting, like just me, it's day 37.
Oh, nice.
No alcohol.
Now you got to get, once you get done with that, you need to get rid of the sugar. No sugar at all. Just water.
Let's calm the fuck down.
No,
okay?
No. You do this. I guarantee you right now, if you just drink water for the next 2 weeks, you'll lose 20 pounds. You don't do any kind of sugar or anything like that, you'll lose 20 pounds. Guaranteed.
I mean, really, the only thing I drink is Diet Coke, carbonated water, and I'll have a couple of those.
Good. Just drink basic water. Guarantee you'll lose 20 pounds.
Yeah, I've been drinking a mineral water a lot. The lime flavored shit from HEB. Didn't have a fucking thing to do with wrestling.
Yeah, no. Well, we finally got someone watching us, so what? That's another thing I'm wondering. I think we hit 30.
What, subscribers?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, 3 months and we're hitting. Oh, we got 2 people watching, so someone else is watching.
Well, those of you that are watching, go ahead and hit that like button
and subscribe. Subscribe.
Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, we got 29. We got one more. We can hit 30.
We're talking about wrestling, and Dave's bitching at me about not drinking enough water.
You need to drink enough water, dude.
Since I quit drinking so much beer, I've noticed that my piss color has changed and gotten darker, and I've supplemented my hydration to even it back out.
That's good.
You know that old adage, like, you know, you're a veteran if you judge your level of hydration based off the color of your piss.
Dude, it freaked me out when I started doing vitamins when I was working out.
Yeah, like orange.
Dude, it was a highlighter. It was a highlighter. It freaked me out. And I was talking to another buddy of mine that works out a lot. I was like, "Hey, dude, you work out a lot, yeah? Do you do vitamins? Yeah. How's the color of your urine?" He's like, "Oh, it's highlighter."
Yeah,
okay.
Piss always looks dirty. Like
I'm like, okay, I'm good. I thought I was dying again. Now, another thing that was I was listening to on the podcast that Triple H was on was if you have a good ref to help, because he had a thing going on because it was that whole Monday Night Wars thing, and he was describing the reason why he wasn't pushed, because he was supposed to hit King of the Ring, and he was pushed back because him, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Shawn Michaels did like a bout in the ring, and they didn't do a wrestling match. They were just, in the ring, hugging each other, caring about each other. And this is the old guard still doing like kayfabe. It was like, oh, you're not allowed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to, if you're the heel and you're a babyface, you can't be seen together anymore.
Yeah.
And especially in the ring, hugging each other, high-fiving each other. Well, he was talking about he had them. They were basically giving him crap matches. He wasn't going to win. He was supposed to go into the ring, lose, come back. And Vince already told him, is like, listen, you're going to have to take a pile of shit right now. And that's what you're going to have to eat for the next. I like what you're doing. But I have to answer to the producers and I got to answer to the writers. And they don't like it. And this is, again, the old guard that believes, you got to keep the secret.
Yeah.
That it's not scripted. Even though now and it was the time for me. He said he was like a 94. And what was happening, he was in one match with a wrestler who was crap. He was hurting people. He was that crappy. And a bad ref.
Goldberg?
No, it wasn't Goldberg. It was Johnson. He had like a African name or Abu Johnson.
Rocky Johnson.
No, it wasn't Rocky Johnson. Rocky Johnson. God, if it was Rocky Johnson, if that was a horrible match, it was it was Triple H's fault, not Rocky Johnson's fault. But he even said is like, if you have a horrible wrestler and you have a decent ref, you can still run the match pretty well. But if you have a horrible ref and if you have a horrible wrestler, that match is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
What he was talking about, how what they do is they get the if the guy's being an idiot and doesn't know how ins and out and how to do something, he can tell the ref, hey, he's doing this, tell him not to do that again. And the ref goes by and does that. That made me think about that as what makes a good match if you don't have a good ref. And I want to go back and look at that match and see how it was run and see how horrible it actually was compared to the way he says it.
I think you got to have you got to have 2 out of the 3 to make a match work and not look shitty. It's either got to be a good wrestler and a good ref or 2 good wrestlers, but you can't have a bad wrestler and a bad ref and still come out with the match that you're proud of, I would think.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also to the fact of we saw that just recently with the Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and who's the other one? Damn,
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. God. We saw people with camera phones showing that there was a ref on the outside behind the camera telling Belair what to do. Have you? I think I sent that to you. Did you see that?
I don't know. No, I hadn't seen it, but it makes sense,
Yeah.
Not all those wrestlers have, wrestling schools and employ referees and have that knowledge. That was something I always had an interest in, whether it was MMA or wrestling local shows or whatever. I wanted to go to for MMA. I considered actually going to the state school and getting licensed. But that would be awesome. But even doing local wrestling shows, that would be cool. But I'd have to go. I would go to guys like Chino and Bryson Scott and Bryson's wife and get schooled on refereeing.
Yeah. Well, the thing about
let's say Bryson's wife, she's nobody, Miss Simply Luscious. So
but the thing about doing MMA and wrestling, I mean, wrestling you still have to check on the wrestlers, make sure they're still alive and everything. But MMA or any kind of boxing or anything, you have to know when to just call the fight. Because I've seen there's so many freaking refs that I think just don't know, and you see it for the fact of when the when the guy's doing like the pounding goes up and it's like, do you want me to stop or go?
Yeah.
And they're still kind of punching him, and the guy's obviously knocked out. He's like, call the fight, dude.
That's we call that getting Mazzagati'd.
Yeah. I watched some of those. I was like, he's out. He's done. He's gone. He's not even there.
Oh, there was one where the dude let go of a choke and just got up and walked away. And then Mazzagatti walks over and goes like, "Oh shit, he's done."
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. And that's Dana finally bitched about him enough that they took him off of like major events, or at least off of UFC events.
Yeah.
Basically sent him back down to like local shows and stuff. But and then once one athletic commission makes that determination, it's just like a fighter getting suspended. Basically everybody follows suit, you know?
Yeah.
So once Nevada decided no, he was done in all 50 states.
It's not like Angel Hernandez.
God, bro, that dude.
I'm surprised.
I wonder what kind of parties went on in the MLB when he retired.
A lot. A lot.
But no, that's why I like some of your best referees, like Herb Dean, you know, ex-fighter.
Yeah.
You know, all those guys, basically all of them that are on that you see on your main cards for the UFC for sure have some kind of background in either like competitive jiu-jitsu or kickboxing or MMA.
Yeah.
You know, all of them, even the dude with the fucking 8-foot mustache. But
you see a lot of the refs too. They're for WWE. They've gone through like I was listening to a podcast with one ref that he was like, I don't know why they don't do Carney talk anymore. And I was like, what's Carney? That's the reason why I asked him, asked Chino about the Carney talk and the difference between that in Mexico and Carney talk and stuff, and which is a great insight. I love that that he has that insight, because it's just one of those things. You're like, okay, you have it here. How's it different in this area? And I wish he did a Japan. He went to Japan to work over there, because I'm wondering about their Carney talk there.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that you don't really, unless you like deep dive in a lot of stuff. Because once I get into something, I go like really hardcore into it, and I'm like, listen, I think I found the Holy Grail. I'm not fully sure, dude. That's literally a petrified turd. Okay, so it's not, but it's fun to learn that stuff.
No, nerding out on shit is something that I'm very guilty of myself too. Like getting in those holes and just what is it, like Shane Gillis called it, like early onset republicanism.
Yeah.
When like all you watch is the History Channel like nonstop and Fox News.
Yeah.
Shit, I got it. It's getting me.
You know what I've noticed now here lately is a lot of the stuff for like, man, like we were talking about the feed. I was like, I'll watch like live events of old matches constantly on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Like everything is on YouTube now. And I'm like watching like old WrestleMania matches. I finally watched the fullness of the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
which got us both doing this podcast, technically. But I watched the fullness of it, and I was like, oh, it started to look like Roman Reigns was just going to take the cake until you like get to the end of it, and all the spectacles happen.
Yeah, I find myself like I'll get into wrestler holes, and so like it'll start with like a reel will come through, and it'll be fucking the Ultimate Warrior,
Yeah.
cutting one of those epically shitty promos, and all of a sudden I'm on YouTube and I'm looking, watching old matches and watching entrances, and 3 hours has gone by and I've watched, half of his catalog now. But,
I've
and
done
then,
that.
that'll dominate my algorithm basically for the next couple of weeks, and then it'll move on to somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I'm kind of upset about nowadays, what's not happening?
what's that?
When's the last time you've seen a full on everybody in the locker room out in the ring just beating the crap out of each other?
Well, I mean, the last couple of weeks, it's all been the same people.
Yeah.
It's been the New Day, and they're the only ones that have really had new competition throughout the weeks. But other than that, it was all the Judgment Day, and then it was Gunther and Jay, John and Cody. I mean, that was all it's been. It's all been the same people.
Yeah.
Like you could do Raw in Europe with probably less than 15 people.
This is true.
They don't have enough people to fill up the ring for an all-out brawl.
I miss those, man.
Yeah,
because that's another thing. Because you have a big, like the biggest one they had was the ECW alliance and the WWE with WCW, and they're all in that ring. And then Stone Cold goes in and just cleans house.
Well, my favorite was always whenever it would go down with Black and White versus Black and Red at the end of a Nitro.
Yeah.
You'd have both factions in the ring, and all the shit's flying in from everywhere. And, like Sting comes in from the rafters and starts beating people to death, or, whatever happens. But that was always my favorite. Like WCW, when they got down, they got down.
Yeah. I mean, I miss those, man. That was another thing I was thinking about calling this one. I was like, who's in the ring?
Nitro was the superior product, in my opinion. As far as what you saw on TV, I thought it was better.
Well, that was one thing that I was listening to on the podcast with Triple H on there was the way that they handled it, because he was talking about they were getting a paycheck no matter what. They were basically salary. They get X amount of money. They don't have to. And the whole reason why it was lore for a lot of these wrestlers is because there wasn't a lot of. He said it was probably no house shows. Everything was on TV. So all you had was Monday Night Nitro, and eventually it became WCW Thunder, and that was basically it, and the pay-per-views. But the way that Vince did it, and the reason why a lot of people say that WWE won was for they let the wrestlers get in on the action at the door.
Yeah.
A lot of the wrestlers got paid for ticket sales.
Well, one of the things about WCW and their contracts and that whole structure was, they had these huge contracts, and like you're saying, they only had to show up for Nitro and or Thunder, depending on who they were and what their story was. Like Goldberg was wrestling on Nitro and Thunder, especially back during the streak.
Yeah, but it was only for like 15 seconds.
But yeah, but I mean, still, he was on at all times. So, shit, I forgot where I was going with that. Damn it. So you had those huge contracts. Oh, and they didn't have to show up to as many dates. That was one of the things that was that drew so many wrestlers to WCW from the WWE and from those other organizations, because they didn't have to work 320 days a year.
From what Triple H was saying, it was like 292 days a year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing house shows. I mean, he was pushing the limits. Even
I mean, Jesus Christ, the man had a heart attack on live TV.
Well, Triple H did, yeah. No, Undertaker was talking about it on his podcast, 6 Feet Under, and he was saying, it was like, I had tickets to go see a boxing match in Vegas.
Yeah.
And Vince called me up. It was like, hey, I need you to go to Sacramento for a wrestling match. It's sold out. What Vince forgot to tell him is it was sold out for
at a wrestling at a high school gym.
It was 15 people there.
Dude.
I would have been so pissed off.
Wasn't he going to see Mike Tyson?
Yeah. It was something that it was a couple of hitters. I would have to rewatch the thing, but
it might have been one of the Tyson Holyfield fights, either one or two.
I think it was Holyfield, because I think he said it was like in 95, 96.
So it'd have been when the year got bit off.
Maybe.
Taker missed that fight for a 20-person house show.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you the Undertaker didn't have shit tickets either. I bet those tickets were close.
Yeah. Well, I had when I went to when I seen Undertaker Stone Cold in Abilene, dude, I think it probably was about 50 people in that audience.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Dude, I was on the top shelf, and I was in the peanut gallery. And I could have gone, I could have changed my seat to like front row if I wanted to, because it was that empty.
That's wild.
Yeah. And the only one that like really spoke on the whole thing was JBL, because he graduated from Abilene Christian College.
Oh, okay.
That was the whole stick of him being there.
And so that was just a house show?
Yeah. It was, but that's one thing that I don't want to go. I'll go to a Raw event. I'll go to a pay-per-view event. It'll be kind of fun. It'll be kind of fun. But if you tell me, hey, there's a house show over at this location, I will drive there, go to that, and be happier with that. Only because it's so much fun. Because to me, those are more entertaining. Only because the wrestlers have fun with them. They know they're not gonna be, doing anything like super crazy or whatnot. But you see their enjoyment, and you enjoy it because they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to if you gave me if it was like, hey, you want to go to WrestleMania or do you want to go to this house show? I'll go to a house show every time, hands down.
Yeah, like I was saying, I've been to Raw and I've been to SmackDown, but I've never been to a house show.
That's fucking fun. Hell, Chino said he was supposed to come up here to Wichita Falls to do a house show, do a show.
Yeah, I don't know. He still hadn't texted me back, man. Hope everything's all right with him tonight. But
what's it, dude? I tell you this. If I don't know what the case is and why, but I was like, you, it's different. Johnny, it's different. I can text you and I can text Johnny, and you'll give me a response. some of the people, not naming names, sometimes I don't get a message. Fucking hell. You know what? I just realized sometimes Chino doesn't use, for some reason, he uses TikTok to message me. And I just realized that, and he is not messaged me even on TikTok. So there's that. I love Chino, but he messages on 3 different things. I'm like, Chino, and just messaging to give, because like last week he was.
That's why we have a group text, bro.
Yeah, he was messaging in the group text. I was like, I sent you that message because not to like, it was that whole we wanted to go over some kind of pink drink thing with that him and his girl was talking about. And I was like, yeah, sure. We'll do it on Wednesday. We'll do it on Thursday. I got that next day off. So we can do it. And he's sending it in a group text and everything. You're confused. Like, what are y'all talking about? Am I out of the loop on something? Was I supposed to come on? No. Chino. Yeah.
I don't drink.
I sent you the text to you because it was a me and you moment. It's not. I didn't want to bother Trey. Because if it's not, I'm trying to exclude Trey. It's a me and you moment. And I don't want someone to be a cuck and sitting down and watching.
Wait, you guys are friends without me?
Yes, that's what it is, Trey.
God damn it. I knew something was going on.
We kicked you off the fucking reservation.
I could see it in your eyes. I missed one fucking episode. And this is what happens.
Yeah. Every time. I go on to something better. I do like the Asian, even though he's Mexican, but he looks Asian.
My wife tried to violate my sobriety.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose. We were at a show. If you ever get a chance to go see the South Texas Chili Peppers anywhere around you, don't fucking go.
Really?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Okay.
But so we went to this show. There was a band called Fuvana who did obviously Foo Fighters and Nirvana songs, and they did some Queens of the Stone Age too.
Were they good?
Yeah, they were pretty good. And then the second band was, I think their name was At the Wrist, but they were a Smashing Pumpkins cover band. And if you like, I hate the Smashing Pumpkins. If you like the Smashing Pumpkins, they were fucking awesome. But dude sounded just like Billy Corgan.
Oh, that's cool.
But then, yeah, they had the South Texas Chili Peppers, and they were not good.
Oh, wow.
It was terrible.
I hate going to shows that the people are like really horrible, but they believe that they're really good. Like, I went to this one show, and I didn't know they were popular. Bowling for Soup.
Mm-hmm.
They're from Wichita Falls.
Okay.
And they won a Grammy. I'm like, I didn't know this until after the fact because I was hanging out with the guys. I was like, oh, cool. I do this all the time. I'll end up hanging out with somebody. I was like, hey, I want to hang out with these guys. What? You know those guys? Yeah. I was like, Patrick Kilpatrick. You know who he is?
I know who he is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I went to a charity event, and one of the people that run the event is friends with him, and we ended up talking and everything. He's a good conversationalist. He's done some really cool stuff. He was a bodyguard for a lot of celebrities before he actually became like a celebrity himself, I guess. Because he has a book out. It's called The Most Killed Actor in Hollywood. Because he dies in every one of the movies that he's in. And
has to die.
Yeah, but he's a great guy. And I was watching a movie. I was like, "Oh, that's Patrick," and someone's like, "What do you mean that's Patrick?" Patrick Kilpatrick. He's a pretty good actor. He's just like he's never had like a really starring role. He's one of those guys, like Hector.
Yeah,
and we all know who Hector is.
Same dude from Training Day.
Yeah.
From any other movie where a Mexican.
You look at his IDBM, it's all Hector.
Yeah, he's played Hector. We counted it one time. I can't remember his name, but we counted, and it was like out of 50 or 60 different roles, he had played Hector like 20 something times. It's ridiculous. What's his real name?
I'm looking at it right now. Let me find it.
I figured you were looking it up. Yeah, this is we've talked about 30% of wrestling on this podcast, but kind of just broing out tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get our big time this weekend because that's all we're gonna do this weekend. Is
that's gonna be, they're gonna be sick of looking at us, all 4 of our viewers. They're gonna be sick of viewing us after these live WrestleMania events.
Noel Guglielmi.
And he didn't even play Hector in Training Day. It was Marino.
Yep, but we all knew like who you were talking about.
Yeah. All you have to do is say Hector. That's another news. That was another news that me and you should share from a Drinking Bro aspect is discussing Justin is a dad now officially.
He is. He had a baby. I congratulated him on his Instagram and asked him how much he thought we could get for it on the black market. He hasn't got back to me yet, but
I know for the kidneys you can get 75. Don't ask how. I know that.
Wait, for the kidneys or the kid?
Kidneys. You do it in part, man. You get more money.
Oh, we got part of him out like a chop shop.
Yeah,
I'll let him know.
Yeah.
Me and my brother. He's absolutely thrilled, man.
That is so great.
Yeah, he's over the moon. He's excited to be a dad. He's excited to have another source of comedic material. So
when I was doing open mics, because what time frame we were at? Okay, I can say this. I was doing open mics, and at the time, my daughter, she was 18, and she's like, "Hey, I was wondering if you could do something for me." I was like, "What do you want me to do? Why do you have to ask me?" It's like, "Well, I'm kind of interested. If you say boys, you just ruined a lot of stuff." She's like, "No, Dad, I'm still gay." Okay, whatever. But Mom, I don't want to go to Mom about this. Do you know anybody that knows about I was like, just spit it out. Knows about vibrators? I'm like, what? No. I don't know why she asked me this. I was like, I can get a hold of somebody. I have a friend of mine. She's like 2 years my senior. She's like 48. And constantly talking about, toys. I think she can talk to you. When you come down here, I'll call her up and she can give you womanly advice. My dumb ass, I told him to take it off the speakerphone. The first thing not the first thing. She ends up talking about, and I'm driving, so I can't do any. I was like, y'all need to shut the fuck up. She ends up talking about a 15-speed vibrator, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? Are you gonna try to holler out my fucking daughter? I was like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Does it have like a gear set too? And that ended up being what's sad is everybody thought all the comedians
It comes
that
with
were
its own gear lube.
yeah. They're okay. What's really sad about that whole thing is the local comedians that actually, they go out and they get paid to do the comedian stuff. They're just really, really low.
Yeah.
They're not like high up there, but they're really low. But they're like joking, and I was like, man, that's a pretty good joke. Where'd you come up with that stuff? Because I was like, what do you mean come up with that stuff? That didn't really happen to me. I don't do like jokes. I can't do jokes. I can tell you about my life and how fucked it is. Like, you seriously? That happened? I was like, yeah. So you're openly talking about that stuff with your daughter? And it's like, no. That's the reason why I had somebody else talk about it.
Fuck. Well, speaking of drinking bros, Ross has done all those movies and everything. That chick Edie Patterson that she was in
Beekman World?
She was in Helen Keller. She was in Pool Boy.
The one that was in Beekman's World.
And what?
She was in Beekman's World.
Was she?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I'm watching right now. I didn't realize it was her until I got almost like half a season in, but I'm watching Righteous Gemstones right now.
Oh.
Have you watched it? Dude.
Did you watch the first season? The first episode of the season? Dude,
I'm halfway through the second season right now.
Oh, dude, the fourth season? Man, that first episode is fire.
Don't fuck it up. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Well, Bradley Cooper's in it.
Yeah, we just started it last week, and we're already at midway through season 2.
Yeah.
We'll probably finish it, let's say, before the end of the month.
Another one that just came out recently, that's pretty good, is the Bondsman. It's with Kevin Bacon, and he has to kill demons.
I haven't seen anything about that one yet.
It's on Amazon Prime.
That's one I need to check more.
Yeah. It's
Prime's got some good wrestling content on it too.
Like
as far as documentaries and shit.
Yeah. It's like I just finished Preacher, and I really don't have anything other than wrestling right now.
Oh, we're watching Reacher too.
That was a good season. I like what they're doing on that.
So,
but I think the next thing, it's one thing that both of us haven't done yet. Queen of the Ring.
Huh?
Queen of the Ring. We keep on talking about it on each episode that we're going to watch it. Yeah. I can't bring myself to watch it.
Well, I mean, we can't do it this weekend. We got 10 hours of broadcasting if we want to do it.
Dude, you're wrong. 18. Someone already did the math.
Jesus Christ. Well,
18 hours for this weekend. If we do everything, just to let everybody know that's going to watch that's watching later on or listening to us later on. We're going to do WrestleMania it's just going to be Saturday and Sunday. We're not going to we'll catch you up a little bit on the Friday night stuff, because they're going to do Kill Tony on Friday and also the Hall of Fame. And then one, I can't physically do it because I'll be doing What the Hell on Friday. But we'll be doing Sunday fully. For that, we're not going to be able to do any clips or anything. Well, I'll see if I can come up with some kind of clips. It's going to take me forever to do that because I'm not going to be able to use AI. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be busting out, watching WrestleMania 40 this weekend, having the time of our lives. Sober.
Yep, it'll be fun. I'll be there for most of each night. Maybe in and out a couple times, but should be there, like I said, most of each night. I'm in town this weekend, so yeah, we should be good to go. What was the final verdict with Chino? Are we going to have anything live from him?
He was talking a good game, so I don't know what's happening with him on Saturday.
Okay. So TBD on Chino. Let's see what else. Anything else you want to cover from Raw last night, or anything going into this weekend?
No, because the only thing we don't have, and I'm looking at the list right now again just to make sure we didn't miss anything, because so far Randy Orton is the only one that I don't see on here, so I don't think he's gonna have a match, even though there was a lot of stuff that was showing that he might have a match with somebody.
There's rumors that after Cody retains the belt, there's a feud between him and Orton.
Like I said, John Cena is winning that belt.
I don't know.
I hate to bust bubbles on that one.
I gotta go watch this damn podcast now.
Yeah, I'll see.
Not do it tonight. I'm gonna watch LFG with Vanessa, but she just cocked her head over and looked at me like, "Yep." But
I'm not saying anything with Orton right now. But do you think, because does Stone Cold go to every WrestleMania?
I mean, pretty much. He's young enough and still athletic enough that he still basically gets involved every year in some capacity.
Well, the reason why I was saying that is because I think he might, because they've been pushing it that he's going to be there. I mean, they didn't push Undertaker being there. I wonder if he's going to do something during one of the matches.
I don't know. If he did, it would make sense during Cody's match, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going with. I was
maybe he comes out to save Cody when he gets attacked by whoever.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's just, this one's just going to be a regular match. It's not going to be like the last couple of them that he's been going against Roman Reigns about a blood. Man, I totally forgot what it was. Is it blood feud or
bloodline?
Bloodline, yeah, bloodline match. Which all it was like one pinfall, only in the ring, but everything else goes. And they just put a name to it. But
so this is a straight up, pinfall or submission match.
Yeah. That's all this one is.
Yeah, but you can still get a ref knocked out, and then somebody comes down, and then Stone Cold comes down and fucking stuns somebody, and kind of like that Rock and Undertaker moment from last year.
Yeah. But that's it for this week. An hour. I mean, we're doing pretty good. And we're scaling up pretty well. Get friends, and let's hit that 30 button.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear us talk shit and talk about wrestling and talk shit to each other, hit us up. Tell your friends about it. Throw stuff in the comments. We like to interact with comments, live during the episode. So, jump in there.
All right, guys. I'm David Dickerman.
Trey Witzel.
Y'all have a good day. I hit the wrong damn button.